it is. I just want to welcome everybody to our October 20th board meeting, and if everyone would please stand, and we'll pledge the American flag, and then followed by a moment of silent reflection. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated. Okay, that does turn to the roll call of the board members. I'll turn to our treasurer, Mrs. Roberts, for the roll call, please.
Mr. Hoffman.
Here.
Mrs. Johns.
Here.
Mr. Kimmer.
Here.
Mr. Smeltzer.
Here.
And Mrs. Conrad Zangmeister is absent this evening.
Okay. Thank you, Mrs. Roberts. Roll call does turn to 1.5, the minutes. Everyone, the board members do have a copy of the September 22nd, 2025 regular meeting. He was able to view. Unless there's any corrections to those minutes, entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Okay, it's been moved by Mrs. Johns. Would there be a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Smeltzer. Discussion. Discussion, I turn to question. Turn to Mrs. Roberts for the roll call, please.
Mrs. Johns.
Yes.
Mr. Smeltzer.
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman.
Yes.
Mr. Kimmer.
Yes. Motion passed unanimous. 1.6, adjustments to the agenda. Any adjustments, Mr. Belleville?
None at this time.
Okay, thank you. Does move us into the section of information discussion, which will go to 2.1 with superintendent updates. Mr. Belleville, sir.
Thank you, sir, and welcome to everybody. Appreciate you being here this evening. Want to do things a little bit out of order from normal. Excited to have a group of students here, as well as Mr. Baker. We wanted to acknowledge him for the results of a recent competition they were in. To say it's a large scale is an understatement. But I don't want to dive too far into it and get anything wrong. So first part here, I want to turn it over to Mr. Baker, ask him to come up and explain where the group went and what they were doing, and then Mr. Kimmer, I believe you have a recognition for him.
Yes,
So,
indeed.
Mr. Baker?
Yes,
All right. Yeah, we just recently went out to the Big E in Massachusetts. It's the first time we've ever been out there. I've ever been out there. Had a team a couple years ago that qualified for it, and just so many of them were seniors that we couldn't get them back to participate. But this team here, it's kind of unprecedented, really. Normally it takes a couple years to kind of get up to speed on the whole forestry thing, and usually it's about the third year cycle that kids get really good at it. And last year, our freshman class was just outstanding, and so obviously I had a young group that was able to go out there this year and compete. And one of my main goals was to have a good time. And I think that one of these guys' main goals was to win the darn thing, and that's exactly what they did. They're studying, and the way they prepare is just it's unprecedented, really. Because I was trying to coach and prepare a state team for this coming state competition, and trying to work in practices at the same time. And these guys just got together and made Google slide presentations and taught different parts of the competition to each other, and all the way out there studied with one another. We spent one night, Friday night before the competition, studying in the hotel after supper, and I'm sure the lobby would have rather us go to our rooms. It was we were kind of loud, but just studied the rest of the night, and it just, the way they prepared just did not surprise me whatsoever. We were tipped off to how they had done basal area in the past one time. If you don't have a fancy tool to do it, a Webb's Prism, they might give you a penny. So anybody can do basal area and not have the tool and use a penny. So we trained on how to do that. We looked it up. Everybody was pretty aware of how to do that. And every other team that was out there, they got the penny and You know, I think they were thinking if we had 99 more of these, we'll have $1. So, you know, and these guys took that penny and just went to work and started doing the Basil area. And so I think I didn't necessarily compare scores with the other teams, but I think, you know, we did really well. And the judge came up to us after they took our picture that night, and he said, "Hey, don't tell your kids this because we don't want them to get a big head, but they knew what they were doing." So I was super proud of these guys, and just really want to thank you guys as well for the support, you know, and being able to, you know, take the advantage of such a neat opportunity. We had an absolute blast, and couldn't have asked for a better group to go out there with. So.
Mr. Baker?
Yeah.
What now, explain to us, I know it was mentioned before, but the Big E, the acronym for the Big E stands for?
It's the big exposition fair. It actually incorporates, it kind of shows off all the New England states out there. It was really cool. They had these buildings you could go to and go in and kind of almost taste the flavor of those states. You know, they had lobster rolls and this and that, and maple syrup was obviously big, and it was pretty cool. But it was one of the biggest, probably double the size of the High State Fair. I don't know. So.
How many states?
So that competed.
Yes.
Was there 9 or 10 states that competed? I think there's a few more states east of the Mississippi that get an invite, and then they just got to decide whether they want to make that trip or not. And then to get invited out there, it's usually the second place team of the forestry competition the prior year. So last year these guys got second in the state, and then came back this year when we got back from the Big E and won the state. So we got first in the state this year. So
Well,
pretty good.
we have certificates here from the board. We wanted to thank you for your leadership skills. Again,
Thank you.
outstanding for what you do, and make Pepper Union very proud, teaching these young people, and we're extremely thankful to you. So
Yeah, thank
Pepper
you.
Union Local School District awards this certificate to Judd Baker for his leadership of the forestry team that finished in first place in the Big E competition. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much. I
We
appreciate
want to
it.
get a pictures.
Okay.
With the group there.
Okay,
So.
you want to do that afterwards then?
Yes, and
Okay.
then we'll have everybody shake hands. And then next up is Pepper Union Local Schools would like to award certificate to McKenna Snyder. McKenna?
Right here.
I'll pull that out, sorry.
Yeah, McKenna, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for making Pepper Union very proud.
Thank you.
We're very thankful for your leadership as well, so I'll get a picture as well. Okay. Okay. Eva Connell?
Libby?
Olivia? Olivia Connell? Okay, Olivia, Pepper Union Local School District awards this certificate to Olivia Connell for outstanding performance as a part of the forestry team that finished first place in the Big E competition. Olivia, we appreciate it. Thank you for everything you've done. Thank you very much. Madison Pack. Okay. Madison, Pepper Union Local School District awards this certificate to Madison Pack for outstanding performance as part of the forestry team that finished in first place in the Big E competition.
Thank you.
So proud. And I purposely thought ladies need to come before gentlemen. Mason Springer. Mason, Pepper Union Local School District awards this certificate to Mason Springer for his outstanding performance as part of the forestry team that finished in first place at the Big E competition. Thank you. Appreciate it.
We'll get everybody together.
Shake everybody else's hands, please, and get a picture. That's all right. It's all right. You ready?
All right, there you go. 1, 2, 3. All right, good deal. Thank you.
Thanks. I do want to mention, so that I know your early start, your days start early, and that If you're not gonna be disrespectful, step out. You're welcome to stay for the business meeting. It's not boring at all. But it wouldn't be disrespectful. We're so extremely thankful that you came, and how appreciative we are in this process and what it is.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Okay.
Mason, congratulations. Appreciate you guys being here.
Before we head out, I did want to, just because the achievement is so big,
Yeah.
I did want to mention that last year we got second in the state, but Mason as an individual got first. And then this year he went ahead and followed that up and got first again. It may actually be one of the, it may not happen again, because usually if you have a state winning individual on your team, probably your team's good enough to win the state. And I don't know if you guys know this or not, but once you win the state as a team, you can't compete in that CDE again. So unfortunately, it's kind of bittersweet. These guys are done with forestry. So he was able to win it last year, win it this year, and then the team won. So that, I don't know, it just doesn't work out usually to where that would ever happen again. So I thought that was
Mr. Schaefer, we planning like a larger recognition later with the whole group?
Yes, we're gonna do.
So we'll get the state championship team, Mason, we'll recognize them at a future board meeting.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks, guys.
Okay.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Appreciate it. Okay, I'll turn back to Mr. Belleville then when
All
he
right.
gets a minute.
Second on my list, and part of the reason I wanted to put the forestry kids first and recognize them, then let them get on their way. You'll see I have first reading for some policy revisions. These are all policies that are stemming from the budget bill. And as we've shared many times, the budget bill usually ends up a bill that has a huge impact on education and what we do, how we do it. Not all of them from the budget bill, but a good majority of them. You'll see there are 55 total policies that would be impacted. First reading today, I will share that there may be some updates prior to the next board meeting. There are two policies that I did not include in here that were centered around gifted education, because I'm waiting for some clarification from DEW. So at the November 3rd board meeting, could potentially have a few more policies in there for consideration. So between now and then, if you have questions, just contact me individually and we can walk through as many of them as you want to. With there being so many, I know that we could sit here and talk about them for a long time. So a lot of them, it is really just language changes. There weren't a huge shift in policy. All of these policies, for example, had to change the wording from the Ohio Department of Education to the Department of Education and Workforce. And some of the policies, that was the only change, was literally just putting the correct name of Department of Education in. Other ones, there were some shifts in policy. The revisions are shown on there. Things are X'd out or crossed out that were changes, highlighted in green, the new verbiage. So as you go through those, if you have questions, please just contact me. All right. Next on my list, you'll see on the agenda there we have several trips and some workshops and conferences. I just want to highlight and point towards one specific one. It's the web exam dates. You'll notice that Ms. Penrose, Mr. Baker, Mr. Turner, I'm asking the board to approve web exam testing conference that was on October 16th. Obviously, today's October 20th, so it's already happened. We didn't find out about this training until after our last board meeting, So this was the first opportunity to bring that to the board. The web exams we give every year, this is an invaluable training to help them prepare for those tests. So that is a conference workshop that we go to regularly. So I did go ahead and send them to that, asking the board to approve that tonight. But I hate bringing stuff after the fact, so I wanted you to know why it was coming after the fact. So just wanted to point that out. Also, you'll notice several trips. Those are all standard trips that we have been taking yearly. So would recommend we approve those as well. Some legislative updates. I'm going to go in reverse order from what's on the agenda. We could be looking at some potential handbook changes to bring to the board for consideration. We are receiving guidance that CTE courses are to be weighted now. So we're going to have some discussions internally about how we want to do that, because our CTE classes already have different credits to them. I'm checking to see if that meets the burden of the law. If not, and we truly start weighting CTE courses on a 5-point scale the way we do with AP courses and some CCP courses, then I think we really have to have a discussion about resetting our credits. Right now, for example, year-long courses get 1.25 credits. Semester courses get 0.67 credits, because we know there's outside work that goes into those courses. That we've done that historically for years. But if it is now going to be a true 5-point weighted class, if you give extra credit plus weighted, now you're double weighting. And that would really present some issues with valedictorian and salutatorian calculations. So we're gaining some more information on that. We'll bring it back to the board for discussion at a future board meeting, but kind of wanted to get it on your radar. Then the other one is House Bill 186. This is moving through legislative branches now. Impacts property taxes. A huge piece of 186 that just wanted to touch on briefly tonight is there's a retroactive piece to that would go back and look to pull back money from 2023, 24, and 25 in terms of property taxes. Some early simulations that I've seen that would cost our school district $2.7 million. Everyone in Fairfield County is on the 20 mil floor, so it would impact every district in Fairfield County. And I have been in contact with our legislators. They know the financial impact that this would have on districts in Fairfield County. And so this is a major piece of legislation. Schools have, for the most part, been lobbying, trying to talk to legislators. We understand that there needs to be some property tax reform, potentially tying property taxes that you collect to inflation makes some sense. Targeted relief for the elderly, military families, families that low-income families. Those are all options that we think should be looked at, discussed, but to make the legislation retroactive, I think is incredibly punitive to schools. For the, you think about going back 2 years, I mean, we've planned, we've spent that money in many, many cases. And we're not alone in this. Lancaster City Schools would get hit for over $7 million. I think Bloom Carroll roughly 2.9, something like that. We're 2.7. So it would be dramatic. So a vote on 186 could happen as early as this week. We'll be in Columbus on Thursday for a legislative meeting. That will have me out most of the morning Thursday and be back, and that is a big piece of what I'm going for on Thursday, is to talk about 186. There's been discussion of a vote on Wednesday, but they're trying to get that pushed. So,
Just add one
yeah,
thing to
go
that.
ahead.
So just to kind of put in perspective of something that we've been, kind of talking about of how this would affect us, and just to really look at it from a different, so that I feel it's important that our employees and the community and everything kind of understands what that means. And what that means from our side of it, from our revenue side, is if you were to break it down, let's just pretend that for a long time you were to have the same salary. So you were to make $50,000 for years and years and years and years. All of a sudden, it would go back through and say, oh, we're going to go back and we're going to analyze all the salaries of the area, just like they do when they look at house values. They say, we haven't given you an increase in the salary in, just makes up, 6 years. So we're going to do a one-time catch-up, and we're going to catch you up to $70,000. So you go and you make $70,000 for a few years, and then you may buy a new car, you have new expenses, you have things that you have already committed to. You've committed, you may have changed a lifestyle or whatever it may be. And then all of a sudden it comes back and says, oh, sorry, we're going to let you keep the few years of the $70,000, but we're actually going to take you back to 50. So we're going to take you back to 50, even though, to Mr. Belvo's point, you've already committed to all these other expenses. It would be exact same. How this is worded right now, it'd be kind of a one-time backwards, taking back to those old levels. And oh, by the way, you still have to continue with your current expenses. You have to continue with the plans, with the mandates that we're receiving. So it's just a different way to look at it, and to try to, when we look at, the pages and pages and pages of some of these bills that are out there, to try to break it down. And when we think of it in that stance, it simplifies it, extremely simplifies it, but just kind of just to put it in perspective a little bit about what this would mean, and not just us, but anybody who's at the 21st floor, that's really how it would look. So just another perspective.
I think this would impact statewide. Last number I saw, 358 schools, something like that. I know it was over 350.
Wow, thank you.
Just a
Yeah,
different,
for the
just a
insight.
different
Yeah,
example.
thanks for the insight.
As we get more information this week, I'll make sure keep board members updated. So, last thing, and we will discuss this with our attorney in executive session. Be one of the reasons we go to executive session tonight. But just wanted to provide an update in regards to the Sheets property. I've been asked about it in the community a couple times. The Sheets family was at a recent board meeting, so just kind of wanted to update where we were in the timeline of events, and just to make sure everybody has a clear picture and understanding. The original agreement with the Sheets family to purchase the land and potentially have the house removed was originally drafted in December of 2012. So this goes back quite some time. On June 21st of 2024, I received notice from Mr. Sheets' daughters that they were giving notice of a termination of the life estate. That triggered a clause in the agreement from 2012 that for $1 they could purchase the house, quote unquote, purchase the house from us, and they would have the right to move the house within 6 months. The house and any permanent or improvements to the house, they had 6 months to move it off the property. They acknowledged that in June of 2024. The board graciously made an offer. The Sheets family did not request this, but in discussing the situation, the Board of Education fully acknowledged that 6 months to sell a house, move a house, really was a tight window, bordering on impossible. On July 22nd of 2024, the Board of Education extended the deadline to remove the Sheets house from the property from the 6 month agreement, the 6 months was written into the original agreement in 2012, extended that to June 15th, 2025, so essentially gave another 6 months. So awarded the family a year to sell and move the house. Again, I think it's critical to point out that that wasn't requested of the board. The board took that action trying to be good neighbors and understanding of the difficulty of the situation. In May of 2025, we saw that things were not progressing. The board again extended the deadline from June 15th to June 30th, as there were discussions of a couple of people potentially buying the house. Again, the board instigated that. The board took it upon themselves to say, we'll give you a little bit more time to see if you can finish one of these deals. On August 26th of 2025, once the June 30th deadline had passed, we did send an agreement to the Sheets family for the board to pay the dollar back to the family. The house would come to us, and the board would then be responsible for removing the house from the property, which was what was in the original agreement from 2012. That was the understanding in 2012, is that when that 6 months passed, if the house hadn't been moved, that everything would revert back to the board. Again, we gave the extra time. When the house wasn't removed, we did extend an agreement to the Sheets family. We did receive a request to revise that agreement. The Sheets family did not want the board to be able to sell the house, although the board could never sell the house. That was never an option for the school district. Due to the value of the home, the only thing we could have potentially done is put it up for auction. The board could not sell the house. So that was never even a possibility. But the Sheets family did request that the board or the district agree to only demolish the house, not sell it in any way, shape, or form. So on September 18th, a revised house removal agreement was sent to the Sheets family. This was after they attended a board meeting as well to voice their concerns. And that agreement did limit the board's options to just demolishing the house. The family requested that we revise the house demolition agreement that was sent on September 18th. And our attorneys did revise the agreement, resent it to the family on October 13th. And immediately we received a request to revise the agreement again. So, I'm not for sure where we're at in this process or what more we can do. We extended deadlines. We gave an agreement to give the dollar back and take the house on and take on the complete expense of removing it. We agreed to only demolish it. We agreed to revise the agreement to only demolish it. And I don't know how much more we can revise it. The Sheets family has requested that a more simplified version of the agreement, and our attorneys are a little uncomfortable with that. They want to make sure that there are protections in place for the board. When you go through this process, there are safety concerns, there are security concerns, and the attorneys are doing their job. And so we'll discuss that with the attorney in executive session. But I at least wanted to have the timeline out there for community members to know that every effort has been made to move forward with this. It's been going on for some time now. So just wanted to put that out there. I did put copies of the agreements that were sent to the family in the public portion that anyone can look at that is public record. So, you know, I had a couple people ask me about the process and things that they'd heard, so I just wanted to be very, very transparent with that this evening. So, any questions on that? Okay, that's all I have for this evening.
Okay, Mr. Belleville, sure appreciate the updates. Does move us into 2.2. Mr. Belleville mentioned just a little earlier about the policy revisions, first reading. All board members will have an opportunity to look at those, as he mentioned, those
Some good reading.
53
Need help getting to sleep
policy changes there, or first readings of the revisions. So, unless there's any questions, we'll move then into recognition of visitors. No one has signed in, and that'll move us into reports and presentations, administrative reports. So, with that being said, always look forward to this. We'll turn to Mrs. Tokarts, our Pleasantville Elementary principal. Mrs. Tokarts, please.
Good evening. As you know, this is my third year as the principal at Pleasantville Elementary School. I've been in education for nearly 24 years, which means that I have served 15 principals over the course of my career. I have learned so much, both what to do and what not to do. Those experiences have shaped the way I lead and the kind of culture that we've built here at Pleasantville. Pleasantville is functioning at such a high level because of the incredible people who make up our staff. I truly believe that strong leadership means empowering others, trusting people to do what they do best, and coming alongside them to encourage and coach. I truly believe that when my staff feels supported and trusted, that sense of confidence and positivity flows right to our students. So I would like to take a moment tonight to highlight a few of my staff members who have risen to the occasion this year. First up is Mrs. Mueller, second grade teacher. She created an excellent Tier 2 PBIS behavior documentation sheet that aligns beautifully with our SOAR program. Earlier this year, we were looking for staff members to join our PBIS team, and when I asked her, she said yes without a moment of hesitation. That willingness to step up and contribute is just who she is. The system that she developed has given us a clear, efficient way to support Tier 2 students and strengthen consistency across our classrooms. Next up, Ms. Haley Maple, kindergarten extraordinaire. Haley has taken on a leadership role within our PBIS team this year. She organizes our monthly PBIS celebrations, coordinates donations and materials, and designs the creative Canva flyers that keep our staff informed and our students excited. Next, our occupational therapist, Ms. Christina Shaw-Bosch. She continues to impress with the way she communicates with families. She has a gift for explaining the scientific aspects of occupational therapy in a way that is clear, compassionate, and easy for our parents to understand. Christina is incredibly supportive of our teachers. Anytime a teacher reaches out to her, she goes above and beyond to provide guidance, resources, and strategies to help our students be successful. She is an advocate for students in every sense, ensuring that they have the support, accommodations, and the opportunities that they need to thrive. And finally, I would like to highlight Mrs. Jessica Graham, our behavior intervention specialist in our BRT room. Her deep knowledge of behavior, proactive strategies, and calm, consistent approach have helped transform the tone of our building. She empowers students and staff by modeling positive behavior techniques and ensuring that challenges are handled in a way that supports learning and growth. We have noticed a calm in the building this year because of her work and the systems that she has put into place. These are just a few examples of the incredible people who make Pleasantville what it is. A place where collaboration, trust, and shared purpose drive everything that we do. Next, I would like to extend a warm welcome to all of you to join us for 2 upcoming events at Pleasantville. On Friday, October 31st at 2:15, we'll be holding our Halloween parade. It's always a fun and spirited tradition for our students and staff. You'll have to wait to find out what our office staff is going to be this year.
What time is that?
That is at 2:15. And then on Monday, November 11th at 2:15 as well, we invite you to attend our Veterans Day Assembly, where we will honor and celebrate those who have served our country. I am so thankful for Tony McCafferty and Lindsay Badgley and Miss Carrie Burnworth. They're working together to make our Veterans Day program super special this year. So we hope that you can come. We
What
would
time will
love
that
to have you there.
What time?
2:15.
That'll be 2:15 also?
2:15. And Bremen's is in the morning.
Okay.
Mr. Montgomery will share with you, I'm sure. So in closing, I just want to say thank you so much for trusting me to lead Pleasantville Elementary. It's an honor to serve this community and to work alongside such incredible educators. I am so grateful. Can I answer any questions for you?
I think that's it.
Thank you.
Appreciate the insight, Mrs. Tokars. Thank you so much. Mr. Montgomery, our Bremen Elementary principal. Mr. Montgomery, please.
Good evening. So I wanted to update you on some things that have gone over in the last month. Also, I want to apologize. I'm getting over a little bit of a cold, so my voice might go in and out. But we had our walk to school day, and so I want to say thank you to Mr. Pelser and Mrs. Johns and Mr. Belleville for coming out to support us, and also our staff, community members. We had over 150 students come out and walk to school, so that was amazing. They all had a great time. We've also done quite a few really fun PTO things over the last month. First off, Pie in the Face Day. So we had a mom sale, got a bunch of, did really well with that. So as a reward, did a few different things, including Pie in the Face. 30 different students got to choose different teachers to throw a pie in their face. I and Deputy Paul and Mr. Rex, they were certainly the ones chosen the most. So we also had a pajama and ice cream day, and so last Friday, students got to wear pajamas, and then PTO provided ice cream sundaes to all of our students. We had a great time with that. And then last week, we also had 2 different days where we had breakfast club, where students they chose a family member to bring in and eat breakfast, and we had cinnamon rolls and donuts and watched a movie, and mostly adults had coffee, but I suppose if the kids weren't coffee too, they could have had it. And then Roseanne, I wanted to give her a special thanks for organizing our walk to school day too. She always does a great job with that. And she also organized our scarecrow that she put out for our Fairfield County Scarecrow Trail. She chose to put my face on it. I don't know what she's trying to tell me, but hopefully it's good things.
Yeah.
So, and also Miss Angel is also organizing our pumpkin decorating contest for the staff. So we've got some really good contestants with that. And then upcoming, we have Red Ribbon Week, and so the theme for this is Life is a Puzzle, Solve It Drug Free. A lot of fun different things, a lot of opportunities for me to wear some costumes coming up here, so Superhero Day and different things like that. Wanted to invite you guys to some upcoming things. We have our behavior popsicle party, so students that met their behavior goals on the 30th in the afternoon, starting 1:30, we'll have our behavior goal party outside, if weather permitting, or inside, if so. And then we'll also have our fall parties on the 31st, of course. And then we're having Marching Falcons are coming to on the 3rd of November in the morning at 9 o'clock. And then we also have our fall movie night. And that will be on the 6th of November at 5:30. And we're going to see Charlotte's Web to fit our farm theme. And then, of course, we have our Veterans Day program. And as Mr. Tokars spoiled, it's in the morning at 9 a.m. And that's all I have for you. Did you have any questions for me?
Mr. Montgomery, I just wanted to compliment your students and your teacher and your kindergarten teachers and parents. There was a field day that, I forget what day it was, but they all came up to the land lab and they were so well behaved. It was just organized so well, and it was a beautiful day for it, and I just wanted to pass that on. I knew they went out to Gordon's and out to that, stopped there first, and the Gordon family, I think, give them all pumpkins and things like that. But I just want to compliment how well behaved and how organized, and the staff of just how well they presented the field trip out there and all involved. So.
Thank you, I appreciate that. And I think thanks for letting them come out to Land Lab.
Yes,
I know
indeed.
they really enjoyed that.
Mrs. Kearns asked if I would maybe give a little background with the Land Lab, and And I think I'd mentioned to the kindergartners that the covered bridge was it was built in 1871, it was 154 years old, and I said it was just about as old as me, and they all said, that old? So, but anyhow, it was a working group, and compliments to you as well as the leadership down there, so.
Thank you.
What time the Veterans Day? 9?
9 o'clock.
Okay, thank you. I've got to get my stops planned for the day, so, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Montgomery. All right, we'll turn to Mr. Knott, then our Director of Elementary Education. Mr. Knott, sir.
Good evening, guys. All right, so the STAR window opened up last week. That's the testing window. So this will be the first time since we've started our small group interventions and things to kind of see what's the growth, are we getting what we need, what do we need to do differently and stuff like that. It doesn't close till the first part of November, so we have some wiggle room there. We have state testing and some other things going in. And so hopefully, when it closes in November, then I crunch all this data, we dig into that data, the BLTs, the DLTs, and the TBTs, and really do start to go, okay, here's what we have in place, here's how we're providing the services, this is the curriculum we're using, here's how we're monitoring that progress. What do we need to tweak? What do we need to change? Do we need to do anything based on that data? And then we'll do throughout the year, we'll continue that kind of process. So this is the first time since the very beginning of the year that we'll have that data. And teachers are doing a great job assessing those kiddos between now and November. So fingers crossed, everything will, I peaked, of course I did, and things look good. But we'll see where we land after the first part of November. Speaking of that, so teachers are in TBTs. That means they're meeting as their grade level. Sometimes the intervention specialist is joining them. Sometimes the guidance counselor. Just kind of depends on what it is they kind of want to tackle as a grade level team. And so they're looking at data, they're analyzing data, they're breaking it down, going, okay, was it this? Everyone seems to be question 7. What was it about question 7 on this math assessment that seemed to trip the kiddos up? So those are the kind of conversations that the teachers are having. We say bi-weekly, but I will tell you at the elementary, it's pretty much weekly. And probably more than once a week. Some of that's informal, but formally it's at least once a week. So they do an excellent job with that. Very little that we as elementary administrators have to babysit. They do a nice job with that. They ask the questions when they need to, or they ask about the resources that they need. So they're doing a great job with that. 3rd grade fall state testing will be this week. So we'll test back-to-back Thursday and Friday. Now we've had really, really great attendance the last several years for 3rd grade fall test. I have no reason to think that won't be the case, but if we needed to make ups, we can do those at the start of next week. I don't get too nervous about the fall 3rd grade test. Honestly, it's about what they learned in 3rd grade. We're not there. So it really is about, what skills do they already have? That's really what we look at, is what skills do they really seem to already have that we don't maybe need to spend as much time on? What skills were they the lowest in that we need to look at some of our groups in our intervention? Do we need to beef any of that up? And then also there are always those kids that stand out, like, whoa, okay, they're good. How do we keep challenging them and pushing them even further than what their score is? So again, that'll be end of this week. Hopefully just a little bit of makeup if we have it at the beginning of next week, and then we should have that wrapped up. Usually by January, we have a good idea of all that. The data's back from the state. We kind of know what to do and what the next steps are by then. Mrs. Barr, our instructional coach, is, as you know, we are tackling writing within our CKLA. So she is actually working a little mini PDs that she's going to do once a month with some new writing strategies. She'll do one day at Bremen in the morning, one day at Pleasantville in the morning. It's the same kind of topic, done a little different within their actual reading curriculum. So they will actually see that writing strategy in their reading series, exactly what it will look like. Keith McCarroll came in and he modeled some of the strategies. We're going to pull him out of the classrooms and use him a little bit differently. We're going to, on more of the planning and the technical side and the pacing guides and all that, what is very time-consuming stuff, but he is such a whiz at. We're going to use him that way and let Amanda kind of take over with the classroom flip, because she knows that curriculum so well. So that was a little bit of a tweak that we've made since the start of the year. Looking at just what everybody's strengths are, what the feedback we were getting from the teachers, and kind of honestly what my gut kind of said we needed to do in order to get the best bang for our buck with the staffing and support that we have in place. Finally, just a shout out to Mary and Andy, our administrative assistants. Conferences, as you know, are the end of November. They had their timelines. They're always on the phone with each other going, now this is what I did, this is what my spreadsheet looks like. They communicate so well together. I've had both buildings, teachers have remarked about before I even need to ask for it, it's in the mailbox, or they've already got the email and I've got that information. So it's a big job, but both of those ladies do a great job with that.
Nice.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Knott. Appreciate it. Okay, turn to Mrs. Hahn, our Rushville Middle School principal. Mrs. Hahn.
Hi, good evening.
Hi.
So I'm going to share that I'm very excited that our Leo Club is partnering with the Lions Club. We'll be launching a glasses donation drive this week. The initiative will support the Lions Club and will be a year-long effort to collect eyeglasses from our school community. So if you have any old eyeglasses lying around, you can drop them off in any of the bins that we have at any of our school buildings. Just to kind of highlight one fall athletic team that really stood out among the rest at our middle school, our 8th grade football team. They were undefeated last week. They went to Hamilton Township. Both teams were undefeated when they met. And so we came out victorious with an 8-6 win, which also that makes us the MSL champs. So congratulations to our 8th grade football team. All of our fall athletic teams are having banquets this week or next week to celebrate all of their success. And we are, of course, gearing up for our winter sports already. So today, boys basketball had a meeting with the high school coaches. Wrestling had a meeting last week. So we've got open gyms scheduled, tryouts are scheduled, so we're already, getting ready for winter sports. Our 7th and 8th grade students had the opportunity to visit our nation's capital last week. So that was October the 16th through the 18th. They got back late on Saturday evening. Besides a little bit of bus trouble on the way there, just a little bit of a hiccup. The trip was a success, of course. I spoke with several students today during lunch, and I was asking them, what's your favorite part? What was your favorite thing that you did? And one 7th grade girl said it just so perfectly. She said, Mrs. Hahn, there was just so many fun, exciting things that we did. I can't pick one thing. So they didn't get to go inside the Capitol building, and they didn't get to go to the Ford's Theater because of the shutdown, but everything else took place, and they had a blast. So thank you for giving them that opportunity to take that trip. Special thank you to Mr. Miller, Mr. Smith, Mr. Stevenson, Mrs. Miller, and Mrs. Thompson. Those chaperones gave up time away from their weekends, from their families, in order to make sure that this trip was a success. So thank you to all those teachers and our nurse. Mrs. Rice and I met with Mr. Denny earlier today, our workforce coordinator, and he shared a very exciting opportunity for our middle school students. So he visited Midwest Fabricating Company that's located in Amanda, and they have invited Fairfield Union to bring students to their facility for a field trip tour. And it's actually, they want them to visit the Amanda and the Lancaster facility as well. And so we talked about maybe some possible days where we could send a group of our 8th grade students who, like a small select group of students who are interested in that type of work after high school possibly, and really gearing the selection process towards those students. And just to show students that you can have a really good career and not maybe necessarily have to go to college in order to do so. So just as another option for some of our 8th grade students who might be interested in that. So we are looking forward to that opportunity that we can give our 8th graders. Special invitation, I know you've been invited to a lot of things, but this Friday after school, I know you all want to come to the middle school dance, right? 7th and 8th grade dance is after school this Friday from 3 to 4:30. So, of course, you're all invited for that. Next week is our Red Ribbon Week at school. Of course, this is us celebrating being drug-free at the middle school. So we have themes for each day. Mr. Funk is working with Adam H. and Fairfield County Sheriff's Department, and he's arranged for both of those groups to come out to the school on Wednesday and Thursday to talk to the students during recess about being drug-free. They have a bunch of freebies and little trinkets and things that they've provided for the kids, so we're excited about celebrating that with them next week. And then finally, just to share with you what we've been doing for staff appreciation for the month of October. Every Friday for the month of October, we have had freshly brewed coffee in our mailroom for our teachers and staff to enjoy. And then teachers have been booing each other, giving each other little trinkets and passing that forward throughout the building. And then finally, next Friday, the final Friday, celebrating the end of our first grading period. I cannot believe it's the end of our first grading period already. We're going to be having our Croctober potluck. So each staff member will bring in, a pot filled with their favorite food to share with the staff. So we have a great, amazing staff, so we just try to celebrate them as much as possible. So thank you. Any questions? Okay, all right, thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Holloway.
Thanks, Tricia.
Appreciate it so much. All right, turns to Mr. Schaefer, then our high school principal. Mr. Schaefer, sir.
Evening, everyone.
Evening.
Couple items here kind of to recap. Obviously, last week was homecoming week at the high school. Very exciting week for us. We did home game ticket giveaways. We were able to provide by the staff purchasing 63 tickets for students who participated in Spirit Week. They gave them out to students throughout the day to get into both of the boys and girls soccer games as well as the football game Friday night. So that was a high for us. Even though we had less home games than a normal week, we provided more tickets to our students who participated. So we're pretty proud of that. We also obviously had a pretty big week athletically. Football team won on Friday night. That was a very big win for them, putting them in a great position this week. Boys and girls soccer both won last week for homecoming week as well. And then obviously cross country had a big day on Saturday, which I'll get to in a minute. And then that kind of culminated with homecoming dance on Saturday night. We had 400 students in attendance, as well as multiple staff members, some coming at the beginning, the end, the entire night. And it was just a great night. We had no trouble, which was good. But also just, the kids just really enjoyed it. It was good to see the staff come out, just interacting with kids in a different way than just the normal day-to-day. So we had the highest number of staff members that we've had, and then one of the highest number of students that came out. So that was a pretty good one there. Big shout out to Mrs. King for all of her work with homecoming, as well as Mr. Horn and the student council students for that. So it was a great week there. Just a quick academic update as we approach the end of the first quarter. The students are hard at work trying to make sure that they're getting their grades to the point where they want them to be at the end of the quarter. Our staff's working hard. Part of our AAA Plus One for our staff members is that Mr. Johns and I will provide breakfast on next Friday, for the 2-hour late arrival for our staff, who get a certain level of points that they get for their attendance rate, them going to games or volunteering for activities. So if they have 30 points for this first quarter, we'll provide them with breakfast on Friday. So we're kind of looking forward to that, and then obviously those points tally throughout the course of the year to see who can be the winner. Last year was Mr. Denny. He had the most points over the course of the year, so we're just kind of seeing who that will be this year. Kind of in that same academic update, we did send out a staff survey last week, Mr. Johns and I did, just to see kind of where we were. It was mainly focused around behaviors in the building, how's the implementation of the cell phone policy going, and we had resounding, we felt, input from the staff that this has been one of the best years of student behaviors that they've seen. So our numbers show we have some of the lowest numbers we have seen in terms of negative, discipline referrals. This is one of the best years there, and the staff survey showed the same thing. We've heard great things about the way that our students are kind of accepting the cell phone policy that we have this year. Parents seem to be on board with it, so it has had a lot of positives throughout the building. Athletic updates, kind of to throw more dates at you here. Cross country, obviously, they boys and girls both, Mid-State League champions there, and then last Saturday they both were crowned district champions with Sadie Schultz receiving District Runner of the Year as a freshman, winning the women's race. So they are district champions for the 10th year out of the last 11. And then our men's team, they won district champion. This is the 4th straight district championship for them. And Connor Runkle received District Runner of the Year for that. So, every year it just seems like we keep having the conversation about our cross-country teams, and they're just doing it again. So they run in the regionals this weekend at Pick North. The girls will go off at 11:50 with the boys at 12:30. Again, that's at Pickerington North. Boys and girls soccer are both in the district semifinals, both at Logan on back-to-back nights. So the boys will play tomorrow night at Logan at 7:30 against Jackson. And then the girls will play on Wednesday night at Logan against Sheridan at 7:30. Both of those are district semifinals, so we're excited to see them progress through. And then this week we've got our last home game for the football team against John Marshall with very big implications. Kind of looking at the numbers right now, I think we're in a good position for playoffs. There might even be a position to host depending on kind of how Friday looks and the points that we get coming in for Friday. So there's a lot of exciting things going on athletically. There's a lot of groups that we can highlight. I'm just going to choose one today to highlight it, and that's our media program. So that's a new course load that we've got. Mr. Purdue's in charge of the media group there. So they're doing a lot of exciting things, kind of building the plane as they go in a way. So in the years past, we've had, our media group has just focused on the morning announcements. They're still doing that. But Mr. Purdue and that media group have expanded. So we've got the morning announcements, and our broadcasting team are now kind of starting to get into a podcast. They're working through some of what's the podcast going to look like, getting the kids behind the camera and so on there. So the broadcasting they're doing great. Our digital media class is doing a number of things, Twitter announcements for athletic events, but they have also went through and created email signatures for every staff member at the high school. They're going to probably be getting a hold of you next with picture in it, staff's title, what they do. They made like a little kind of insignia that tried to bring in components of all of our communities on it. So it's a pretty neat design that the kids came up with in digital media. Our yearbook group is already working on the spreads for the fall sports teams and different programs that we've already had this year, so yearbook's up and running. And then the one that I really want to highlight today is journalism. Got an example here for everybody. I'm going to take one of these, pass them around. So our journalism students wanted to kick off the year and kind of do a school publication. So that is one of our most recent editions of The Nest, which is the school newspaper. Inside these, they do them every single week. You'll find, student spotlights, alumni spotlights. They do stories on every athletic event from the week prior, community events. They talk about the fair in our most recent edition. They usually have a section about the arts. They've got photographs in the back that are done by our media programs, the different groups of students. We pretty much have 2 to 3 students at every single event that we have taking photographs, live action for yearbook as well as for media here. So just really want to highlight that because while Mr. Purdue is obviously doing a phenomenal job of organizing that, the school newspaper week to week is driven by our students. They come up with a storyboard of who they're going to interview. They've got Mr. Tom Wilson in this edition as well, so they're getting some community involvement there too. We have some students who this is going to be a college career path for them, others that are just interested in it. So, just really want to highlight the efforts of that group because I think in year one, they have done a phenomenal job. We're really excited to see how we can utilize the media group moving forward, but as you can tell, just in a couple short months, they're just doing an outstanding job. So really, really proud of them there. And then I'm going to throw the same invitation to everybody that everybody else in the room has. I'd like to invite everybody to our Veterans Day program. That is obviously the 11th, and ours is at 8 a.m. That'll be followed by a brief light breakfast there too. So, 80. Any questions that I can answer?
This is awesome.
It is.
Love it.
We'll try to get you guys copies of that weekly. As they do that, they'll probably be reaching out to you for some interviews too. They've been asking for who all they can get a hold of, so they're doing a phenomenal job.
And the good behavior with the cell phone, that says a lot.
Yeah, it really does. We've
Yeah.
seen our positive referrals have been up. One of the interesting things we got to do last week at the pep rally was every student who received a positive referral throughout the week was put into a drawing to kick a 20-yard field goal at the pep rally, kind of like college game day. Mr. Johns and I put some gift cards on the line for him. Mr. Belleville put a pass on the line for them and one guest to get in free for every single home event for the year. And Alex Burke was the one who he received some positive referrals. He got drawn, and he did hit the field goal at the pep rally in front of the student body. So it was a nice week for just to see all the positives going on at the high school.
Nice.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Schaefer. Yeah, appreciate it. Administrators, thank you for the insight. Thank you for what you do day in, day out. So appreciate your leadership. So
It's gonna be a tight schedule to get around to everybody's veterans, so just so you know.
8, 9.
I don't know.
8, 9,
12:30.
and 2:15.
Yes.
8, 9, 2:15. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, it won't be disrespectful. We know you started very early, so if you do need to step away here before we go into the consent agenda section, we sure appreciate your time. Thank you. Okay, as mentioned, we'll move on to the consent agenda section 5.1, workshops and conferences. All board members can see the 6 workshops and conferences that are scheduled. If you look down through those, if you have any thoughts or questions for Mr. Belleville on those workshops or conferences, please don't hesitate. Yep. If everybody's okay with looking at the workshops and conferences, we'll move on then to financial items, 5.2. Turn to Mrs. Roberts for financial items, please.
Okay, thank you very much. 3 things for this evening. The first is a donation of $952 from the Pump and Vine Golf Course in honor of the Kevin Phelps Memorial Outing. This is to our athletic department. So this is a donation that we've received for the last few years, so very appreciative of that. The next 2 things, I have our September financial and insurance overall just reports and reviews. So I will start out with the financial summary. One thing to note in this is the numbers in here have been flipped over to the October 2025 5-year forecast. So if you look at numbers compared to the forecast, it is, even though it's just due this month, since I presented it in September, I went ahead and flipped those numbers over. So far for the year, we've received about $10.5 million compared to $10 million last year. You will see that our property taxes are up 1%, income tax is up 6%, state foundation is up 8%, and then other revenue is up about $60,000. So overall, right really where we were anticipating each of these areas. So no major call outs in this area. We've kind of just been trucking along to what we've been talking through. As far as expenditures, we are slightly under last year. Actually, we're at $6.5 million compared to 6.6. You will see that our salaries are slightly increased, but only by 1%. When I came in and talked about August, it was a difference of the 2 pay versus 3 pay months. We are now into the spot where we have transitioned from 26 pays a year to 24 pays. So this is the year that we're transitioning. So when you try to, starting with September 1st, when we've now moved all contracts that way, it's interesting because to have exact apples to apples in salaries is going to be a little off. So that's why it looks like we're only up 1%. So you may think, oh great, we're only up 1%, but we did have, we moved everybody and had base increases and everything. So it's not quite apples to apples, but still trucking along to where we thought we would be from a forecast standpoint. Benefits are slightly down. Purchase services are also down. Supplies are up, but this was the same thing that we've been calling out, that early purchase of laptops. And then our transfers out, that's the $85,000 that we transfer to our maintenance fund every year. So apples to apples in that. So overall, so far from a financial standpoint, we are where we would have expected to be, 25% into the year. Obviously some things, as we start to look at everything we talked about with house bills and those numbers could start to change, but as far as where we're sitting right now, we're coming in right on forecast. Any questions on financial? Okay. Insurance. So insurance has been interesting this year. We have talked about, so we've had some very high insurance claims. Within health insurance, we have brought in about $1.3 million compared to 1.2 last year. However, when you jump over to expenditures, we have had $1.6 million of expenditures compared to 1.2. So claims are up 30% to last year. We have had some very high claims, and then we essentially pay the claims up front, and then once somebody hits stop loss of $100,000, that does get not necessarily reimbursed to us. It just is like a credit to us that then we don't pay the next week. We are starting to look at just what does that mean go forward for our insurance? How are we continuing to fund our insurance? We have not had any insurance changes as far as plan changes in over 6 years. So just starting to, do some pre-work and just really looking at what that would mean to our insurance plans. One thing to remember is that we did take our Plan A up 10% for premiums and Plan B was up 3%. Part of that, though, is that the board will absorb about $360,000 worth of that cost. We have a $4 million balance, so that being said, we could afford to hold some of those premiums a little lower and use some of the hard work that has been done so that we can use, some of that high balance. However, you will see right now with us bringing in $1.3 million and already spending 1.6, that's already a difference of $300,000. So obviously watching that, we are still in very good shape we're still sitting at just under $4 million, so very healthy medical fund balance. But just continue to watch that because we have been hit with very high claims this year. Not a lot of information, new information in dental insurance, really flat to last year. Revenues flat, expenditures are up 1%, sitting at about $250,000. So that's always the good news when I feel like I can come in here and say that same thing month after month with our dental plan of just kind of hovering right around dollar in, dollar out. So in good shape with dental. Any questions on insurance? There's a lot of information going on in insurance right now and we're looking at claims. So.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Roberts, for financial updates on those items. So, all right, does move us into 5.3 then, approval of the consent agenda. Motion to approve the consent agenda items recommended by the superintendent and treasurer.
So moved.
Been moved by Mr. Smeltzer. I'll second that. Any discussion? No discussion. I'll turn to question. Turn to Mrs. Roberts for the roll call, please.
Mr. Smeltzer.
Yes.
Mr. Kimmer.
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman.
Yes.
Mrs. Johns.
Yes.
Motion passed unanimous. Does move us into the new business section, 6.1, personal service supplemental contracts. Motion to approve the personal service supplemental contracts as presented.
Mr. Kimmer, we have 3 names for consideration, but I want to bring attention to one in particular. Coach Dupler was kind enough to join us this evening, and whenever you post open positions, especially with coaching, if there's not a teaching position to go with it, you're always concerned about the quality of your applicants or where will you even get applicants. And coming on the heels of Coach Wolf's resignation and Coach Wolf, I thought did a tremendous job with the kids and teaching about character and those type of things. And so there was a huge concern for me about filling those shoes. And it did not take me long, though. When I saw that Coach Dupler had applied for the position, had a couple people reach out to me immediately, one being Coach Barr, to share some insight. And then when I had the opportunity to sit down with Coach Dupler and talk to him, the knowledge about the game of softball just spills out of him. He can't help himself. He gets so excited when he starts talking about it, and it is truly infectious. You sit and start talking ball and his experiences and what he wants to do with the program, how he wants to guide it, and where he wants to take it. It's not just talking about day-to-day operations. It is talking about big picture and here's where we want to go, and yeah, we're going to do all these things and we're going to have high character and we're going to work hard and this, that, and the other, but we're also aiming to win and win big. And I think that is an attitude that most definitely will spill over into the kids. And it's just exciting to be around. And I know he's eager to get going. We're awful happy to have him here, and just know he's going to do some tremendous things and be a great mentor for his staff and the kids. And I think he will fit in nicely with the rest of our athletic department. Mr. Schaefer, anything you want to add to that?
I agree. I thought that, when we were sitting in the interview, you could just feel the excitement about coaching. And, I was there when Coach was introduced to the girls, and same thing. You could just feel the excitement in the room, and the kids were excited back. A lot of them we had to get to the point, I'm like, okay, we do have to go back to class, because they were excited to hear about his plan for the program and getting started, and, you know, we said anybody who's interested in pitching, I think we've got quite a few kids now interested in pitching, just because they heard about Coach's background and where he's been and the knowledge he brings, and I just think that, you know, it's exciting to see where that's gonna go. You know, I think we all have very high expectations for all of our athletic teams, and, you know, when we were sitting in the interview, it was all about pushing our kids and high standards and pushing them to win. So I'm excited to see where the program goes under Coach's leadership.
And to add to that, my dad was a high school softball umpire for 20-plus years, and through those connections, really got to know some softball coaches in the state that are Hall of Fame coaches, softball coaches in the state. And when Coach Dupler applied, I was able to reach out to a few of those people and talk to them, and we are hitting a home run here. Coach comes highly recommended and has that level of expertise that his peers just speak highly of him and what he brings to the table. So, Coach, anything you'd like to share or add?
I think it's kind of hard to follow up, but I appreciate being hired here. It's my honor to hire here, and when they offered me the job, I said the same thing to Travis and then Scott. It's great to work. I mean, I coached here as assistant coach for 7 years with Rosser and Barr, and got to know a lot
Don't
of
tell people that too.
a lot of people here, and I still know a lot of people here, and it's great to kind of like, I don't know, you always say come back. It's like my second home from Amanda. I mean, everybody know here has been great, and it's going to be an honor to work with a class organization. I said that, you know, in the interview. Administration was class acted interviews, and it was good to have a good interview with class people and the questions that we did, and you'll see a difference. Just in the girls that we had 2 weeks of open fields, our pitching's already improved, and the girls they're learning some new stuff, and they're very hungry for it, and that's great. And you'll see we're going to win. That's why I came here, and you will. It's like I told them, practice will be hard. It's going to be a college practice, and you'll have discipline. But you know, winning brings fun. We're not here to have fun. It's fun when you win. But our goal is to be playing June 3rd through the 7th in the state. I mean, that's always our goal, and been there and I want to get back here. And it's a pleasure, and I'm looking forward to working with everybody. And like I told them, they're going to have to tell me no a lot because I'm going, I go. So, but I mean, hopefully you guys come to games and see what happens, and I think you'll like it, and I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome.
Appreciate it.
Awesome. Appreciate the words, Mr. Dupler. We'd like to move forward with the motion to approve the personal service supplemental contracts, and then possibly shake your hand. So I would turn to the board then and to entertain a motion to approve the personal service contracts with the 3 people that you see in front of you. So, been moved by Mr. Hoffman. Would there be a second?
I'll second.
Second by Mrs. Johns. Any discussion? No discussion. We'll turn to question. Turn to Mrs. Roberts for the roll call, please.
Mr. Hoffman.
Yes.
Mrs. Johns.
Yes.
Mr. Kimmer.
Yes.
Mr. Smelter.
Yes.
Motion passed unanimous.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Welcome aboard.
Hey, Jeff, I never know you from somewhere.
I've been trying to sit here, I'm like, I know him,
Yeah.
but I just can't remember from where. I'll
Maybe
keep thinking
church
about it.
someplace?
It might have been Fisher Christian.
Yep.
That's probably it.
Good, hey, thank you.
Yeah, appreciate you.
Good
I'll be
seeing
there
you.
at the game.
Oh, I
I'll be
know.
there.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, you'll probably see me
I'm
too much
excited.
too.
Building up.
Oh, we will.
We need it.
Yep, that'll be good. Thank you, thank you very much. So.
Coach, more than welcome to hang out. You can also take off as well.
Yes.
I'm gonna get home up in South Carolina all week, so.
Yes, won't be disrespectful.
Thanks.
Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate you. Uh-huh. All right. Does move us on to 6.2, volunteers. Excuse me. There is a motion to approve Katie Barber as a volunteer for the head gymnast coach. You know, we all know what a wonderful person Katie is and the energy she brings. Just, she just makes you smile when you see her. She's just a wonderful person.
Yep, without a doubt.
You know, they're just,
Do we have more participation?
I think it'll be the same squad we had last year. Might have a freshman or two. We'll have 5 or 6.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
how fortunate we are to have someone of this quality to be a volunteer, lead this head this gymnastics. So I'd entertain a motion to approve Katie Barr as a volunteer, the head gymnastics coach.
So moved.
Been moved by Mrs. Johns. I'll second that. Any discussion? No discussion. We'll turn to question. Turn to Mrs. Roberts for a roll call, please.
Mrs. Johns?
Yes.
Mr. Kimmer?
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman?
Yes.
Mr. Smeltzer?
Yes.
Motion passed unanimous. 6.3, substitute teacher list. There is a motion to approve the substitute teacher list as presented. All board members have that attachment in front of you.
So moved.
Been moved by Mr. Smelter. Would there be a second?
I'll second.
Second by Mrs. Johns. Discussion. No discussion. We'll turn to question. Turn to Mrs. Roberts for the roll call, please.
Mr. Smeltzer?
Yes.
Mrs. Johns?
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman?
Yes.
Mr. Kimmer?
Yes, motion passed unanimous. 6.4, substitute classified list. All board members do have that attachment of the substitute classified list in front of you. Been moved by Mr. Hoffman,
Second.
second by Mr. Smeltzer to approve the substitute classified list as presented. Any discussion? No discussion. Turn to question. Turn to Mrs. Roberts for the roll call, please.
Mr. Hoffman?
Yes.
Mr. Smeltzer?
Yes.
Mrs. Johns?
Yes.
Mr. Kimmer?
Yes, motion passed unanimous. 6.5, an educational trip for the DECA Day with Columbus Blue Jackets. There's a motion to approve Crystal Zwick to take the DECA members to the DECA Day at Columbus Blue Jackets on November 17th, 2025 Nationwide Arena. All board members have that attachment in front of you as well.
So moved.
Okay. Been moved by Mr. Smeltzer. I'll second that. Any discussion? No discussion. We'll turn to question. Turn to Mrs. Roberts for the roll call, please.
Mr. Smeltzer?
Yes.
Mr. Kimmer?
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman?
Yes.
Mrs. Johns?
Yes.
Motion passed unanimous. 6.6, educational trip DECA at the district competition. Motion to approve Crystal Zwick to take the DECA members to the DECA district competition January 23rd, 2026 at Capital University. That attachment's in front of the board members as well.
So moved.
And move on Mrs. Johns. Would there be a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Smeltzer. Discussion. No discussion. We'll turn to Mrs. Roberts for the roll call, please, of the board members.
Mrs. Johns?
Yes.
Mr. Smeltzer?
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman?
Yes.
Mr. Kimmer?
Yes. Motion passed unanimous. 6.7, educational trip, FFA invitational judging event. Motion to approve Hannah Penrose to take the FFA members to the livestock, equine, and poultry invitational judging event on March 5th, 2026 in Springfield. Been moved by Mr. Hoffman. I'll second that. Any discussion? No discussion. Turn to question. Turn to Mrs. Roberts for the roll call, please.
Mr. Hoffman?
Yes.
Mr. Kimmer?
Yes.
Mrs. Johns?
Yes.
Mr. Smeltzer?
Yes.
Motion passed unanimous. 6.8, educational trip for the SCCLA, FCS had career days with the Blue Jackets. Motion to approve Jennifer McClurk Spillers to take the FCCLA and FCCLA members to the career day Blue Jackets December 11th, 2025 at Nationwide Arena.
So moved.
It's been moved by Mrs. Johns. Would
Second.
Second by Mr. Smeltzer. Discussion. No discussion. We turn to question and turn to Mrs. Roberts for a roll call, please.
Mrs. Johns?
Yes.
Mr. Smelter?
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman?
Yes.
Mr. Kimmer?
Yes, motion passed unanimous. Does move us now into executive session, 7.1. Adjourn into executive session, motion to adjourn in executive session according with section 121.22 of the Ohio Revised Code. Be no action taken out of executive session
No action, and we'll be going in for numbers 1, 3, and 6.
1, 3, and 6. Okay? I'd entertain a motion.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Smelter, I'll second that. To move into executive session. I'll turn to Mrs. Roberts for roll call, please, at 8:20.
Mr. Smelter?
Yes.
Mr. Kimmer?
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman?
Yes.
Mrs. Johns?
Yes.
Motion passed. All right, executive